Now, on Saturday, the United States and the Taliban signed a landmark deal in Qatar's capital, Doha, calling for all US troops to withdraw from the war-torn country within the next 14 months. Now, strategic Baluchistan has always been a target in war against the Taliban. So how are the Balochs viewing this whole entire peace process? For more on that, let's quickly go across to our guests who are joining in. Let me introduce my guests at the moment. Jamal Nasir Baloch, who's joining me from London at this hour. I'm also joined in by Nobat Mari Baloch, who's joining us at the moment live on this broadcast. Now, let me begin by going across to Jamal first. Jamal, thank you for joining us on this broadcast. Now, I just want to begin by asking, has the peace deal done anything to address Afghanistan's long-ignored second front, that is, of course, Balochistan?
No, I think it will not address anything regarding Balochistan or Afghanistan, because I have read the agreement and there's not a single word against terrorism or against the forces which waged the war against Afghan people. Not a single word on the democratic process. So I think it is just an American surrender, and Pakistan won the proxy war. And now the geopolitical status quo in the region after 20 years, after 9/11, is changing again. So I don't see anything coming out of this particular agreement which could be good for Baloch, Afghan, Indian, or the other nations.
Again, Nobat, on that note, Nobat, how do you view the peace deal that just happened 48 hours ago?
I think, as Nasser said, this is that proxy war which Pakistan has won. Pakistan has been supporting Taliban, and there was I don't know if you have seen by BBC4, there was a documentary done that Pakistan is double-crossing the West in Afghanistan. So again, I think Pakistan has won, and there will be nothing for the Afghans or anyone else in that region. So there's because Pakistan trying to invade Afghanistan through Taliban and use it as a proxy for the interest of Pakistan. So I don't think there will be anything for Afghans in this deal or any other democratic nation in that region.
All right. On that note, let's also go across to Jamal. Jamal, you just heard what Nobat has to say. He's made a very valid point. But in retrospect, what has been Balochistan's role in the Afghanistan quagmire?
Actually, the Balochistan, the problem was that when the American invaded Afghanistan on the pretext that Al-Qaeda is there, Osama bin Laden was there, they toppled the Taliban government and they capture bin Laden from Pakistan. And there were problems in the very beginning, between Afghan government, Hamid Karzai, and Americans, that they should not wage the war in Afghanistan.
Right.
They should wage the war in Pakistan, because Pakistan is the terrorist state. Pakistan in Quetta, Balochistan, the Quetta Shura, which was located in Balochistan, supported by Pakistan's ISI. So Balochistan was used as a launch pad by Pakistan ISI and army establishment to wage war against Americans, where more than 3,000 Americans were killed by Taliban. And American military establishment after 2007 and 8 recognized that Pakistan is supporting, directly aiding the Taliban to kill Americans as well as the Afghan soldiers. And they also attacked the, I think, Indian embassy, the Americans' embassies, and all these terrorist acts. So Balochistan is a very strategic region. Now the point is, America is located many thousand miles away from our region. Now we, the Indian and the Baloch, have to think, what should we do now when the Americans are leaving the region? What will be our future? Because after Afghanistan, Pakistan will be using all these tactics, proxies against India, because if now they are thinking, even in the debate, in TV debate, now they are publicly saying that if we can defeat American forces, the superpower, how can we cannot defeat the Indians? So we have to think about these things, and we will understand in few years.
We'll take that forward, Jamal. We'll take that forward. On that note, Nobat, you know, what's important, as has just been pointed out by Jamal, is the fact that, you know, the strategic significance of Balochistan. How do you see Pakistan now playing a role in Balochistan, especially after the peace deal?
Pakistan has always been, because Balochistan is a strategic location for this region, for China, because China also, they gave it to China for security purposes. So Balochistan will be used by Pakistan as Pakistan and China, whoever China is, they are encircling India. So they will use it as a strategic location, unless if there is a change, because we have been struggling for our independence from Pakistan. If we lose, India also will lose, or and Afghanistan also will lose big time, because now if this deal go ahead, then Pakistan will have upper hand via Balochistan on India and on Afghanistan, on a democratic Afghanistan, not the Afghanistan that will going to be Amarat of Taliban, but for democratic Afghanistan and India, Pakistan and China, they will have an upper hand due to this.
So speaking of the strategic significance also, Jamal, let me come to Quetta at the moment, which is of course a mineral-rich region, also a part of the CPEC that's very significant, has already borne the brunt of militancy in the past few years. How will the Afghan Taliban presence post the peace deal now impact the Balochis?
So I think nothing will change in the region. It will get worse. It will get worse because the Taliban is a franchise. Taliban is not an independent entity. It is not like a state which is dealing with Americans. Who knows? Because if for 20 years these militant commanders were trained and aided by Pakistan's ISI, who knows that these ground field commanders are controlled by Pakistanis. Sometimes they are ISIS, sometimes they are Taliban, sometimes they are Jaish-e-Mohammed, sometimes something else. So they are shadows, and Pakistan's ISI is expert in these kind of warfare. Since 1980s, they are waging such kind of wars. Like you can relate these things with Kashmir as well. When United Nations banned one organization, they come up with another organization because these are shadows. These names just exist on papers. This is the ISI, which can break and make organizations on the ground to wage proxy wars. So it will not change anything in positive terms for Baloch nation. It will get worse, I think, because Pakistan will be emboldened and they will commit more human rights violations. They will wage more proxy war against Afghan people, against India and rest of the region.
All right. And that very rightly said, eventually the United States, of course, has also realized that it could not reach a deal in Afghanistan without the help of Pakistan. That, of course, having said that, is going to give an upper hand to Pakistan interference in Balochistan, which we've already spoken about. But what sort of a cultural impact do you see of the Afghan Taliban in Balochistan? I'm going to take that question from Nobat. Nobat, please go ahead.
As Taliban are other name of the Pakistan Army and ISI. Obviously, when they start, because we have seen this already, example in Afghanistan pre-2000, well, it was in the 90s when Taliban captured Afghanistan, and they have, changed their law, like so-called law. They have brought that women can't work and women can't go without, burqas, and they have started, brutalizing people who raise their voice against, these unlawful and unjust laws they have brought in Afghanistan. Obviously, they will, because Pakistan has always trying to, in Baluchistan, they're trying to make Baluchistan also like Afghanistan, so they can control it through making them, more religious or more fanatic. They are trying to convert them fanatic. They have already started this when Baloch struggle started in 2000. Pakistan tried to fanaticize Baluchistan. They have created such organizations like they have done in Bangladesh in 1970s, like Al-Shams and Al-Badr. They have created same organization in Baluchistan. They have thrown acids on women. They have captured, our youths, and they have tortured them and killed them. And they were said that they are Indians or they are, infidels, and they have started this process already in Baluchistan. Right. So when they will Talibanize Afghanistan again, they will surely bring that into Baluchistan as well.
Absolutely, Nobat. And that's one fear that is already dominating the entire region, where, the youth and women primarily are actually intimidated by the Afghan Taliban presence that's going to take over. But I'm going to have the closing thoughts from Jamal at the moment. Jamal, Islamabad has often magnified India's role in the Baloch insurgency. Can India actually help in countering Pakistan's presence for lasting peace at the moment?
Yes, you asked about culture as well in the last question, I think. But the Baloch movement, Balochistan's independence movement, is the only deterrence against Pakistan, ISI and Talibanization of Balochistan. Because before this movement, when it was started in late 90s, there were people, Baloch youths, were recruited by ISI to wage jihad in Kashmir in the name of Islam. So if there is a Baloch national movement on the ground, then there's a deterrence against Pakistan's Talibanization of Balochistan. So I think, yes, India is in the region. We are India's neighbors, and India should learn from other regions, like you can see in Libya, Syria, Iraq, all these places. France, Germany, United States of America, those who drafted the international law, who established the international order, they are supporting the non-actors, non-state people or nations like Kurds and other people. Why? Because they think that the securing their national interest in these regions is more important than the international law. Actually, it is a reality, and India should realize, and they should have some kind of a strategic imagination for Balochistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Indian national interests.
Absolutely. Let's see. It's actually a moment of wait and watch, and we'll have to see how this peace deal actually pans out in the coming 18 months when the United States actually starts phasing out its troops from Afghanistan. On that note, thank you so much, Jamal Baloch and Nobat Baloch, for joining us here on this broadcast.